Hello guys, this is NoFragLimit here from the Octagon again. I will be recording another game of Warhammer 40k Conquest, this time in a fourth round of online tournament called Jesters Masquerade. I will be facing Apoka Comm, the main designer of all the Apoka cards, but also the toughest opponent in the field. This is so far probably the biggest challenge for me. The last time I played Apoka was the semi-final of the Magus Fall tournament, where I actually lost with the Harid, as I find out shortly that Harid is actually the unbeaten so far. Apoka never actually lost the game playing this deck, so this is very serious for me. And as you see already, I'm actually playing Aun'shi today. Aun'shi aligned with Elders, so kind of crazy idea, because he doesn't give that armor bane to Elders, only to tower units, but it's all wrapped up around effect, and this is all about really drone defense system moved on those mobile units, Wild Rider squadrons, etc. So it could be interesting game, but it could be really a quick one. So let's see. Toughest challenge for me, but I'm properly prepared. I was hoping to play Astra Militarium or Space Marines, but today is the Tyranids, and it's fine. It's the toughest deck of his, so it's actually a really good test for my skills. As you see on my hand, I have a copy of STC Fragment and 2 copies of the Wild Rider Vipers. That's already cool, opening hand itself. I also have a copy of Frontline Cancelier. This is a new card, new Apoka card, that allows you to move that unit whenever unit moves away from the planet. So it's really good with all the ethereal effects. Whenever ethereal unit moves away from the planet, this unit moves on. It's 2/1 for 2 cost, 2 command icon, really good. I do have also a copy of Sniper Drone Team, so I'm pretty happy about hand. I will keep it, and Apoka decides to mulligan his hand so he can start. My first deployment is going to be the Ethereal Envoy on planet number 1. That's a cheap deployment. I'm purely doing this because of the initiative I possess. Quick response, invasion site, support. That support, when lead unit is destroyed, gives you back the amount of resources that the lead unit is valued. So really good returning card, so you can actually fight, get killed, and just get the cash back. Really cool. My answer will be the same. Is you playing lead? I'm playing lead as well. So SEC Fragment to get a discount for all the elites. It's quite interesting actually that we're playing both elites each other, so this won't be easier for Harid. The last time I was playing the Elder Starbane, I had all those small units and he just popped out from nowhere. Another deployment, Reaper Swarm, plan number 5, and quick response with 2 command icon, Frontline Cancelier, to take advantage of that command on plan number 5. Really the best move I could pull right here. I do not think that I have any other moves than deploying that Wild Rider Viper, but I left it for the last move. Obviously the Apoka triggers the ability of the Harid, which allows him to put a face down card of my unit, and whenever that unit gets killed, he may actually deploy, if it's a unit, he may deploy that unit in that planet. So really cool. That was the reaction, that was the deployment, signature support, which allows him to trigger the ability of order twice, and my quick response is the deployment of the Wild Rider Viper on plan number 2. Now, plan number 2, purely because of its mobility skill. Mobility can actually take him onto plan number 1 or plan number 3, so it gives me a kind of lot of options on all those green icons that you can see. Full planets have actually green icons. We will be trying to get the snowball really and try to cap that game as soon as possible. He put the card in play in face down on my second unit. As from the support, he can actually trigger ability twice, and he draws a card every time he does this, so he is able to really switch the options around. I have a copy of Breach and Clear on my hand. That allows me to exhaust the target army unit on a planet, and then I may actually to sacrifice the attachment to exhaust another unit on that planet. So this is purely added to this deck also for the drone defense system, which I didn't get so far, and I hope I will shortly. Otherwise, all this build and all this nonsense, I have absolutely no point. But let's see. I don't think I have any other actions, so I will need to pass in deployments, and it's all about my opponent right now. What he's about to deploy, really the answer from him I'm expecting is really some fat elite unit that he made to do, as he needs to be careful, as is my initiative. Really, he needs to consider that deployment very well, as I can move the Viper on the plan number 1 onto plan number 3. It's going to be a very hard decision to make, to pay to get it lost straight away. It's probably a lot of thinking right now for him. I'm thinking the Ethereal Envoy will be okay. The Concealer can actually came after his attack. I can move the Viper on plan number 1, so I don't need to go with my Warlord there. And there's the deployment, Fat Elite, Goliath, Rogue Grinder. Deployment plan number 4, that's really interesting deployment, that he put it far away from those 3 first green icons, risking the victory condition, really. So he was properly scared about that, my Viper, which is good, and it gives me allows me to really push those first planets as soon as possible, and definitely I'll take advantage of that. Goliath is a cool unit. He gets plus 2 HP whenever he's on infested planet, but he also generates the amount of tokens equal the HP the units he killed. So really cool ability, but haven't been really placed well. He won't be able to use it, so it was purely for the command, and only the 1 resource on that planet. Not really gonna give you much, so I guess he will try to make use of his synapse with the command icons and also the Warlord. Let's see what's the best what's the best play I can do. Really, is to just leave the Envoy, try to blow the attack, move those frontline Cancellator from plan number 5 on plan number 1 maybe. So I don't need to go with the Warlord. So I have a Viper which I could blow at plan number 1. So I am about to go for planet number 2, I think. Ability of plan number 2 allows me to put a unit for free, a non-elite unit in play, onto plan number 5 on the HQ. So I could really think about those sniper drone team for nothing. So I'm about to go actually on plan number 2. It makes perfect sense for myself to really play this way. He's choosing his command dials, so we both ready, we can flip them. I'm going to plan number 2, as I said. He's going for plan number 1 with his Warlord, and plan number 2 with his Synapse. That's actually cool. There's actually place him straight in front of me, so it's okay. He's getting 2 planets, I'm getting 2 planets. It's 2 resources and 2 cards for myself, and 3 resources for Harid, so no cards for him. That's good news. I'm quite happy about that. Now the question is, should I move my mobile units? Probably not. I'm thinking now what I could gain really by moving the mobile unit on plan number 1. I would definitely make myself unable to trigger the ability of plan number 2, as Aun'shi, after striking on the Synapse, will need to move back to HQ. And also, I wouldn't be able to bloody the Warlord, as he will probably just retreat. So all I'm gonna gain is the free green icon, which gives me nothing. So no, I'll decide to stay as it is. It's gonna be his attack first. He don't have any actions, I do have no actions, so he will be attacking for 2, and I will take that damage. I'm not gonna be using any shields. It's perfectly fine. I do not value this unit too much, so it's okay. Frontline Cancellator definitely won't be able to do a lot, but 2 damage on the Warlord is enough. So I'm striking for 1 that wasn't shielded. The Ethereal unit goes back in HQ, but I'm able to move the Ethereal to the planet where my unit moved away, and he now strikes with the signature support, dealing 1 damage on the face down attachment unit. I'm shielding this with the iron rifle, so he actually planned that well. I was forced to use that shield here, which I did, and that prevented me from dying. I can do another 2 damage, and then as Ethereal rule, I need to move back in HQ. So that's all I could do here. 3 damage to enemy Warlord. That's actually okay, but unfortunately, as the plan ability of number 1 planet will allow him to exhaust my units, and this is going to be the Wild Rider Viper. So not a good news. Not a good news for myself. The Synapse won't be killed. I will only be able to deal 2 damage with that Aun'shi. I guess I would take it still. The trigger ability of plan number 2, it's worth it. So I think in general I gain more in this round than Apoka, as he only dealt 1 damage to my Viper. I've been able to deal 3 damage to Warlord, 2 damage to Synapse, and probably he won't stay here. Yeah, he didn't, so I'll be able to trigger the ability of planet number 2 and put that unit for 4 costs for nothing on planet number 5, which gives me slight advantage in command again. So I think that was that did go very well, so I can end the turn. We have no actions. It's turn number 2. I'm actually drawing the copy of Hetero Envoy again, and Wild Rider Squadron. This is actually cool. One of my key units here start coming to my hands, so really happy about that. Lumi Brute Hive support deployed, so that will gives us a few tokens in the play as soon as he's going to start deploying the elites. I'm putting another copy of Wild Rider Viper in plan number 2, and those 2 Vipers next to each other are actually really cool. They can support each other on any of those planets, so one of those mobile will move definitely around. So I don't think enemy Warlord would be able to really disturb me here, and that move itself definitely secures and make it very dangerous to play. Any single elite unit deployed on plan number 1 or plan number 2 would still be in a great danger, and as I have those 2 icons, the 2 shielded card on my hand, that would definitely allow me to attack twice for 10. That's absolutely awesome. So a lot of thinking for my opponent, really. That early push on the planets at the front really gives me the advantage here. I'm kind of forcing my opponent to play the longer command game. So yeah, obviously he does a little bit better in the economy, but I guess this deployment for free gave me the sniper drone. That's already disturbing him a lot. So yeah, he's having some comments about my Vipers. They're not actually up, I think. This is a cool unit for 5 cost. You have 5/4 mobile, 2 command icons. It does a lot of fluff, I need to admit. It's really cool, but it's not up, definitely. So I will not get involved much into the conversation as much as he's actually not going to get the armor bane effect as well. On Aun'shi is not that much powerful here. After my deployments with really small delay, the reaction of the Harid was triggered, and he put another face down card on my Viper, which makes perfect sense actually. Those Vipers, they only 4 HP, so he could really start targeting them with his support or any attack. I'm definitely convinced that there is something nasty sitting on one of them. So I need to be very careful how I manage to stay alive here. I could deploy something like Furious Raid Blade with the 3 resources left. Really, I think that's the best deployment value I could get. Waiting for Breach and Clear, that will be a wasted value, so definitely I would do that deployment soon. I'm waiting for his move, and not sure what he's going to decide to do, but I guess with the 6 resources he won't be. Yeah, there it is. Elite unit. The exhausted support indicates is striking Raveneer, goes on plan number 5, so he still keeps himself away of my Wild Rider Vipers, and he puts the 2 command icon elite unit on planet number 5. Now I can put Right Blade really on plan number 1, just to prevent the enemy Warlord to thinking about winning that battle at all, really. He triggers the second time the ability, putting a face down card of my unit, which is fine, and he draws a card for that effect. I have 0 resources, so I don't really feel that I am able to deploy anything else here. It's I have no actions, but he still have his deploying turn. Of course, yes. I'm indicating I'm not going to do anything else anyway. So it's all about for him. He decides to put another army unit on the plan number 2, Strangle Web Termagant. So when any army unit moves from this planet, exhaust this unit to prevent that move. Really cool play, really preventing my Viper to move either on planet number 1 or planet number 2. That already locking a possibility of bringing any reinforcements on planet number 1 or moving the command icons away for planet number 3. I'm quite impressed to see this unit. I haven't actually seen it for a long time, so it's kind of funny that he plays this actually against my mob. You have no actions, so we can decide about the commitment right now. I'm thinking here I should be going again on planet number 2. I will try to kill this unit. Going for planet number 3 could be really dangerous. First of all, he have this signature support where he could deal the damage. He could really pull any trick here and try to strike me with a rock grinder. It would be very dangerous. So, and I cannot really move the Viper on planet number 3 anymore. With that unit deployed on planet number 2, I cannot even think about that plan. The only one thing I could really trigger is the ability of plan number 2. So that will be my plan. I think deployment here makes more sense. I wouldn't be trying to do anything else really. Also considering the planned ability to get +2 attack, +2 HP for any army units, it kind of it's tempting. So that's my deployment really. That's my commitment. Sorry, that's what I'm about to do. So it's all about for him to choose. Obviously the 2 command synapse could go anywhere around to deny my command game. He's choosing the Warlord. The synapse, maybe plan number 4, maybe plan number 2, you never know, but he have already 2 damage, so he would probably stay away from any possible fight. I would love to kill that synapse, obviously. That's already helping me a lot. We did made our choices, so we can really perform the move. I went for plan number 2, he did go for plan number 1 again, and planet number 4 with the synapse. So he's actually getting a lot of commands this time. I am dominated here. I'm getting only 2 cards. He is actually getting here 3 cards and 4 resources. Absolutely awesome play in a command. Obviously Apoka is really experienced player, so he knows what he's doing. He will definitely give away the plan number 1, but all those resources will help him in the future. Kind of risky play from him. I could think about the mobile abilities of my Vipers, considering should I move the Viper away from plan number 1 to plan number 2. Does the right blade, Furious right blade on plan number 1 will be enough to fight off the Harid? I'm not sure. I don't know what's actually sitting on my unit. What's the face down card buried over there? He has 4 resources and 4 cards. He could really pull off his trick. So I'm considering the mobile move at first to try to move on planet number 3. But he obviously remembers about his ability, so the move was cancelled as he exhausted his special unit. So that was a good block in a command. I won't be able to pull this off. Really okay, really cool. So thinking here, I'm definitely gonna stay with this Wild Rider Viper on plan number 1, as the single unit may not be enough. So Iron Hands, no mobile. And we're about to resolve the the combat on the planet number 1. So it's all for him to start. He says proper combat now. So let's see how he will decide to play this. But I imagine retreat. Yes, it is. So retreat is the best choice for him. he did it. He moved back away. Proper combat indeed. So I'm thinking here about triggering the planned ability again, putting a unit for free, and this Wild Rider Squadron for 4 cost brings for nothing. Really suits me well. This is again, as he actually get all those resources and the advantage in the command. I'm able to strike this twice. It's actually making it equal or even better for me to play those units for free. So passively, somehow I am getting this economy back, triggering this plan ability. So that's cool. He definitely, the White Rider, can move forward in this turn on planet number 4, then even more forward in the next round. So he will get to the combat very soon. Let's go to plan number 2. The combat actions here, he have none, so he already indicating that he will not try to defend his units. 2 armor being attacked wouldn't stop it anyway. So Strangle Web Termagants are killed, and I'm waiting if my opponent have any actions. So I can trigger the bad ability. He doesn't, so I will decide to move these frontline Cancelier to HQ to give them +2 attack, +2 HP, just because this unit is so mobile, is so flexible, it can really fly around, and he will definitely be involved in a fight. So adding as 2 HP is absolutely essential. He deals enough damage on my Wild Rider Viper, so this Viper is already in trouble, and he moves his Synapse away. So that's all for round 2. I gained obviously the red icon and the green icon, and I've been able to place on the unit plan number 4 this time, so not so bad. I didn't drone another copy of the elite unit, so this Sax STC won't help me here. It will be difficult. I'm thinking what's the best deployment so far. Thinking about Warlock Distractor, maybe Eldar Survivalist, or 2 copies of the Hetero Envoy to get as much command as possible on different planets. Maybe it's my initiative, so definitely will be my first deployment. I'm thinking I should equal some of those commands or try to take advantage of some of those planets, really. So Hetero Envoy for 1 cost makes a lot of sense. I will put him on planet number 4 next to that Wild Rider Squadron, just to equal the command. Immediately triggered the ability of Harid with the face down card attached to that unit. So quick reaction. He was really waiting for it, so okay. So it's her turn, his turn. I'm thinking about Warlock Distractor here, really, for 2 cost. His response is the copy of Regeneration, attachment +2 HP and 2 HP healed as action. That's potentially a 4 HP to this Grog Grinder, so he's actually 3/9. Is really difficult to kill suddenly, so really good decision to secure that unit. He still has 7 resources, 5 cards, so he can deploy something strong still, just to make sure that I'm absolutely safe on plan number 1. I'm gonna put a copy of the Warlock Distractor here to make it clear, so I won't give him any chance to fight me off on that planet number 1. Even with 1 fat elite, it will be quite difficult to overcome, and he decides to trigger his ability again, putting another face down card of my unit. So quite a lot of cards he actually shuffled, as he droned the card every time he put the face down card under my unit. He actually droned a new copy, so he actually already did 6 cards in that way. With 5 cards in hand, he could really get what he wanted, so definitely some elite unit there, but no STC as he mentioned, so that's STC course, I suppose. Yeah, okay, so maybe that's what he tried to do. My opponent says that it's becoming increasingly uneasy to eat biomass in peace in this sector. I'm quite happy about this comment, really. It's good to force such a player like Apoka to really bend and do not let him to play his A game, and force him to really adjust to my own plan. So he passed in deployment. He actually ignored those 7 resources and the 5 cards. He didn't deploy anything else. So he feels definitely secure on planet number 2. Now this is interesting. I wonder how he wants to play this around. My second Viper is damaged. My second Viper, it's really wounded. It would be an auto kill to go for planet number 2, and it would basically allow the Rogue Grinder to kill me off, as he can do 1 damage from the support. I won't be able to shield it. And even if I will shield it, I won't stop this Rogue Grinder from killing the Viper and generating 4 tokens. So I could possibly end up with a really bloody fight on planet number 2. Thinking here, does this make any sense? Now I could try to come with the Viper for planet number 1, but then if the Warlord of the enemy Warlord goes down again, I'll be in trouble. I decided to put the second copy of the Etra Envoy for planet number 5 to gain the advantage in the command over there. And that's about all of my deployments. So the commitment I decide to perform is to go for planet number 3. I will try to clear that damage from my Vipers or from my Envoys, really. I will try to take it down, and I can really move both Vipers without the fight here in the mobile skill moves. If the enemy Warlord won't go there to assist the Rogue Grinder. So if there will be enemy Warlord, I may consider that move again. Let's see what the commitment action my opponent will choose. I am going for planet number 3, as I said, and he goes on planet number 4 and 5, so he gets the command advantage again on 3 planets. I am getting 3 cards and 1 resource. He is actually getting 2 cards and 3 resources, so it's not so much this time for him. Really pretty even, I would say. Those cards are absolutely essential for me. I'm getting actually a copy of Soaring Falcon, and a more importantly, Saculum Enclave. That support will allow me to discount any non-Tau deployment, so Eldar unit will cost me for 2 less. That's really cool. With STC combined, I could really pay 4 resources less for any Eldar elite units. I have quite a few in my deck, so I'm hoping to get them very soon. Now, on the beginning of the combat phase, I'm about to use the mobile ability, so I'm going to move the Wild Rider Viper from planet number 1 and from planet number 3 onto planet number 2 to prepare myself for the future battle here. As my units on planet number 1 are really not in danger, and the number 3 planet is still pretty secure. I have more than enough there to perform that fight. I'm pretty happy about this play. So I have no actions here on planet number 1. I'm about to decide about triggering the planet ability. The planet ability allows me to move unit to HQ and add to this or another unit in the HQ +2 attack, +2 HP. I'm thinking now about the possibility, is it the Furious Right Blade I would like to add, or the Sniper Drone? That would be the best option. The Concealer, obviously the Frontline Concealer, it would be another choice, but I'm not quite sure which of those could be the best for me, really. With that thinking, I am being advised by my opponent that I should do it on to Warlock Distractor. Yeah, really good advice. I decided to choose the sniper drone, and purely because of his ability of making himself ready after ranged, I'm thinking here about the next planet, the next battle. That unit could make itself actually ready and being used in the next combat turn. So by pulling it back into HQ, I'm adding attack value, and I'm sure that it will be ready for the next fight. So I will have 2 Vipers and a loaded sniper drone. It's not so bad already. He decides to strike his signature support to add 1 damage to the Viper, which I cannot really shield in this point, so I'm leaving myself with 1 HP. Dangerously thin. He's asking me for actions, I do have none, and he decides to trigger the event Accelerated Gestation. Reveal a face down card you control attached to a unit. If that is a unit, deploy it on the planet and deal 1 unpreventable damage to the attached unit. So that unpreventable damage will kill my Viper. Really nice move. Played by Toto, by Apoka. Killed my Viper really without any fight. So suddenly I am losing the attack value on the next combat. This was very important, I think, considering the pay. He actually paid 1 for this with the cost of this growing Gene Stealer Brood. So yeah, pretty well played. I was thinking here about moving retreat. I will allow to attack this Reaper Swarm just to make sure that my units will ready themselves. Reaper Swarm will attack for 1, but that does not really matter, as I will be able to heal that damage with the planet ability, which says you can remove up to 4 damage from your units. So yes, no actions. We will make ourselves ready, and I obviously decide to stay. I don't see any other choice for my opponents to other than retreat, which he decides to do. So really cool. I have no actions, he have no actions, so I can trigger the ability of the planet, removing the damage from the Furious Right Blade, but also from the Ethereal Envoy, leaving all my units healed. So that was it on the planet number 3. Now let's go for planet number 4 and battle over here. Now this Wild Rider squadron could hit and run, but I do not wish to drag along the free damage on him from this Ravening Striker. This damage could be really important for me, as I'm still hoping to get a copy of Drone Defense System somewhere at the game. It could be important to preserve him and keep him alive as long as possible. He do not have a card, face down card attached to him, so he won't be able to gather any more damage so far other than a fight. I'm thinking here about the next planet, planet number 1 in the next round. I would be able to move Wild Rider here. If he's going to move away on plan number 2, on the next round I can move him on plan number 1. So his ability to trigger twice would make it possible for me to come and support me in a fight. I really would like to see him fighting, so I decide to trigger his ability before the enemy blow. So I will go away from this fight, leaving my Ethereal Envoy on its own, alone, and we both have no action, so I guess this will be the attack from my opponent. And I guess the only attack he can do is the Ravening Striker to... No, he decides to attack for the Termagant, so dealing 1 damage. For myself, that's totally okay, I have no action, so I can attack. And I'm deciding to attack a Warlord. Yes, I think the Warlord will be the best option here. To do not let him stay alive in the future, and maybe I will be able to bloody him, so yeah. That 1 attack, obviously the Ethereal unit will need to go back in HQ, And now my opponent can trigger the ability of the planet. The ability of that planet says that you can deal up to 1 damage onto 5 units on a target planet. So the choice is easy, I think. He should strike planet number 2. Dealing damage to 3 of my units could be quite important, but his thinking, is it worth the plus 2 HP? I'm pretty sure he's talking about the Rogue Grinder Goliath of planet number 1, as the plan ability also says infest the target planet aside of dealing damage. So he's more about this infestation than really dealing damage here. He's thinking about securing this Rogue Grinder Goliath for the future, which may be absolutely essential in the next combat round, as I do have already 2 strong point green icons. This planet number 1 will be my victory condition, so he absolutely need to defend it here. He obviously strikes the ability, targets planet number 2, infest it and deal 1 damage to my Viper. So that was the essential choice he need to do. We have no action, so we can end the round 3 and go for round number 4. I managed to actually draw another copy of Wild Rider Squadron and Nightshade Interceptor. This unit, when you control non-Eldar Warlord, it gets area effect 2 and is a flyer 4/4. So absolutely cool with the Saculum Enclave and STC Fragment. By the way, my opponent just deployed a STC Fragment right now, so he get his most desired card. I believe he was waiting with some elites to get it, to drone it. So yeah, cool. He says, "Oh no," right after I answered with the Saculum Enclave. So yeah, you getting discounts, I'm getting more discounts. Take this. He says tricky. It's really essential for me. I'm kind of losing the Armor Bane ability, but let's pay attention. Lumi Brute Hive and STC Fragment tapped, and Shedding Hive Crone, absolutely mean bastard flyer 6/7. It's a huge Tyrannid unit. Shedding Hive Crone flying has the reaction after an attack resolved by this unit against an army unit doesn't destroy it. Put 3 Termagant tokens into play at this planet. If the planet is infested, put 4 tokens instead. So be scared if anything won't die from this attack. Will generate 3 or potentially 4 tokens as it's on this planet. That's insane for 7 cost army. Obviously a monster Kraken lead. I am now thinking suddenly becoming very difficult for me, and he's putting 2 tokens already on this planet as from this support, from this deployment. So wow, I am in trouble. Now I'm thinking, am I actually able to win this battle here? After this deployment, everything changed really. After this deployment, I might start thinking about plan B. This Nightshade Interceptor won't help me much, as it's flying monster. It will sweep me away with the one blow. I won't be able to do much area effect, really. And the Rogue Rider have this regeneration, so I won't be dealing any damage really to his key units. That's absolutely heartbreaking deployment. So I have a copy of Commander Bravestorm, which is pretty useless on this deck. I shouldn't be really adding it at all. Some of the dead cards in my hands suggest that I didn't spend much time building it before the game. Probably I should stick to something else, but it's too late to say now. I need to really pay the price and try to play with whatever I have. So I'm thinking here, plan number 1, it's becoming difficult. I should try at least to pretend that I'm coming here. I should try to create the diversion, to create this illusion that I would like to come here. Probably I should deploy a copy of the Nightshade Interceptor discounted by STC Fragment, but then it will tell the story straight away. Will be able to convince my opponent that I will be coming on planet number 1. More likely he will know straight away that I'm going somewhere else, so I may not decide to deploy it this turn. I may to actually think about the next combat round and wait for him to deploy more units to put that unit in place. So I will hold myself, thinking Wild Rider Squadron and planet number 2 make a lot of sense. This mobile unit, or this unit who can really move between the planets in combat action, can still indicate that I'm coming for planet number 1, but I can also play the Elder Survivalist to gain the economy, and the economy I think will be essential. I not only need to try to sell the story, but also try to get as much as economy as I can. It will be difficult with this Synapse still alive. Obviously, I have a really tough decision to make here. I could play the copy of the Soaring Falcon to secure the planet number 5. There are so many options, I do not know what to choose really. So after really thinking this through, I think I will decide to put the copy of the Elder Survivalist for free, exhausting the Saculum Enclave, and leave myself the full resources for the next deployment. Maybe I would be able to... I want to see really what's the next deployment of my opponent. I want to see what else he's able to deploy, to see if it's going to stop me or not. And he decides to put on a copy of Regeneration, this time on this massive flying unit. Now he is 7-9, healed 11, so wow, absolutely monster, really tough to kill. Now I'm deploying the second copy of Wild Rider Squadron using all my resources, so yeah, I think this is the way I should play it. Maybe I could reconsider playing this Elder Survivalist. Maybe I should put the Vashia Trailblazer on plan number 4, but it's already done. He actually triggers the ability of the Harid, which allows him to put a face down card on copy of my deployed unit, which is the Wild Rider Squadron. So this will be very important. I'm pretty convinced there's something nasty there. As I passed my deployment, or he still have actually action, so his action, a second copy of the Lumi Brood Hive support will allow him to put another 2 tokens with another elite deployed. So there is a lot of guys coming in. I can see now his army is going to start growing from this point. He gets all what he wanted. All the supports he needs are in play. He's really getting some cards and economy here, so he's about to grow. Obviously, I won't be able to pull this off in this configuration. This third green icon, I don't think I'm able to get. I need to start thinking about second victory condition, which is plan number 3 with the red icons. Now, I'm pretty secured on planet number 2. I do not really need to worry about it so far. I need to start thinking about number 3, and I'm thinking my commitment and everything I will do is going to be around this planet. I will try to go there, and if I'll be lucky enough in the command, I could get those 2 resources for Breach and Clear to be able to exhaust that Striking Raveneer. So I think this is going to be my target. I will try to clean off this planet and keep myself secured in the first 2 planets on the next round. And yeah, the first victory condition I abandoned already. He definitely built a proper bunker, which probably is impossible for me to overwhelm in this option. So lucky enough, I am able to recognize this. I haven't involved myself in a bloody exchange so far. Probably that will force me to move my Wild Rider Viper away from this planet, straight away. But that's okay, that's what I really want to do. I want to be able to retreat as soon as possible. So pretty okay. He's still thinking about his deployment pretty hard. So he may to think that I am still able to take the planet number 1 with my units. Let's have a look. I have the Viper. I could bring the 2 Wild Rider squadrons. Would be that enough damage to kill the Rogue Rider or the flying units? Probably no. I mean, depends if he's running any shields there, but as all those ethereal units will go off, a sniper drone will be ready as well. So this is actually quite a lot of attacks. So 5 from the Viper, 4 from the drones, and that's 9. Another 6 from 2 Vipers, so that's 15 attack value in the first combat round against his absolute 11 and 9 against actually 23 HP value. So you know, he does have a lot of firepower on those units as well. So no, really, it will be a bloody fight, and probably I will lose it, and that will cost me everything I have. So no, I'm deciding to play secure. I'm deciding definitely to go for plan number 3, but as you can see from this configuration, it's not so much visible for my opponent. He will be unable to tell unless he's so good. Apoka, obviously, he's the best player you can really get. So he may to know everything that I am planning to do before I even spoke about it. So a copy of the Stronger Web Termagants deployed on plan number 1. That will prevent me from moving away with my with my mobile. I'm kind of playing stupid here on the textbooks, saying okay, well, I'm see what I'm doing. He's laughing. So funny. I'm saying funny that I am playing him and you have this card. Your interrogation means you aim for P1. Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. You see, when you play with the best players in the league on the field, you can expect that you trying to bluff them, and they exactly know they trying to bluff them. And they exactly know that every one thing you do, every timing you take, every word you say in the textbook is absolutely a bullshit, which I do actually in this moment right now, and he clearly see that I'm doing it. So obviously I'm going away with my story still, talking some random thing about this unit and my mobiles trying to play stupid. So yeah, but it's what you can really expect from the game on this level. He actually says that it's been 1 hour and he forgot that my Viper do not have any armor bane. He's really out of the mind. So wow, that's what I meant when I said this is the funniest build ever, to run Tau units on Aun'shi to really spoil his effect. Probably some of his commitments and some of his deployments were already affected by that line of thinking. But interestingly, he actually decides to deploy another unit on plan number 1, Vel Tendrak, that allows him to put another Termagant token on that planet. So he did overcommit himself here enough for me to think that I achieved my goal. I do not let him to secure any other planet, just absolutely defend the victory condition here, which is good enough for me. I'm definitely not coming anyway. I did decide about this as soon as he put that copy of the regeneration on that big flyer. So yes, I am ready. I decided by my commitment. It's about for him to make his mind. Thinking here, should he risk plan number 1 and go there with a warlord? Probably not. That initiative wouldn't mind so much. I wouldn't be able to kill the big units, so no. And he goes as well for planet number 3, so yeah, interesting choice. He will get again loads of resources and cards in a command as he win 3 planets. He's gonna get 2 cards, 3 resources. I am getting 2 cards, 2 resources from the planet and the Elder Survivalist, so not so bad this time. However, still worse than my opponent. The second time in a row, he is loaded again. 5 resources, 4 cards already after the commitment. It's not really bad. No command action for me. He is done. I'm thinking about mobile. Obviously, I won't be able to move away from planet number 1 right now. I do not have any other mobile possibilities, so this is a little bit difficult for me. I have no actions in the command, so it's all down for battle planet number 1. He can attack with the flyer straight away to kill me off, or he could try to ping with the Goliath by dealing first the damage from the support. It's a choice he could make here, but I'm thinking now, is it worth it? Because you have 2 copies of the Lumi Brood Hive. You would definitely be able to put another 4 Termagant tokens into play with any elite deployment. So no actions from me. Let's see what's his choice, but I'm thinking flyer should attack. Definitely, yes it is. He probably thought exactly the same. So my Viper dies. Remember to do not take the face down card with you. So the Viper goes in the discard, and he shows the copy of the attachment which cannot come into play. So it's been discarded. That's fine. Plan ability will allow him to draw 3 cards. Oh no! So he will actually get another 3 cards here. That's actually adding a lot of value to the total of the command income or economy. So yeah, pretty cool. He secured the second green icon and the first red and blue icon on his account, so he could possibly win the game in next 2 rounds by taking plan number 1 and then taking planet number 2. I need to be careful with plan number 1 right now. Do not let him to gain this initiative. I will need to think about how I will play this round. Obviously, 4 of my units on the planet number 3 are exhausted. I only have Warlord ready, so I need to think about those Wild Rider squadrons to come along and help me. I'm asking, does he have any actions before ranged, as I have a sniper drone which I would like to make it ready. And it's all down to him to say. He's thinking. So he may have something in his sleeve, that any tricks that he's hiding from me. This is telling me that he definitely have something in reserve hidden. Obviously not the good news. I'm already not feeling too comfortable right now. And he does say that he really have 2 options here. So I'm imagining pulling one of the events, or just purely attacking with the striking Ravener to make him ready, and try to kill those weak units. So yeah, I'm considering to play this breach and clear. I'm considering to make this unit exhausted. But what I'm trying to do is to make this drone ready and try to kill off the enemy warlord. That's what I would like to do, to prevent him from putting those face down cards into play. I would like to kill him as much and as quickly as possible. So no, I will play it safe. I decide to bring the Wild Rider Squadron as the first action, pre-combat. And as there's end of the range, you have no actions, I'm gonna ready my drone to prepare it for the fight. So now I have potential for attack with the Armor Bane prepared for his warlord. This is the trap I set. I'm still thinking about the breach and clear, asking him for actions. Should I exhaust the striking Raveneer straight away and force him to retreat, or maybe should I give him a chance to strike, to commit the mistake, and then let his warlord to cover himself in the blood? I do not know what's the best line. I need to really think about this. So I said here 1 second, I need to check something, and I did actually looked into the deck builder to look on the bloodied side of the Harid to just kind of convince myself that my line of thinking is correct. And I didn't found anything on Harid bloodied side about putting cards in play from face down. So I was pretty convinced at that point that if I will bloody him, I will get all those cards face down attached to my units really disabled. So I was hoping to get that income here. He decides to retreat his warlord. So all my plan for nothing. I was really hoping he's gonna attack here and let me bloody him. So yeah, he's my move. Now I'm thinking it's my attack. I could attack for 4, try to kill this striking Ravener, or I could really use the breach and clear to yeah. So he says he considered the warlord, obviously he pulled it back straight away. Smart move. Breach and clear allows me to exhaust the target army unit on the planet, and if I can sacrifice the attachment, I can exhaust 2 units. So I will definitely pull this off. I will exhaust the striking Raveneer. I will just play it safe here, just to be sure that I will secure this battle. I will prevent him from pulling any tricks on me, and I will try to kill absolutely everything without any damage. So yes, the striking Raveneer is exhausted. I achieved my effect. I paid 2 resources for that, which is quite expensive really, but I'm thinking about the future here. I do not wish him to surprise me. He says, ah, damn. So he did probably have, yeah, that shuts down quite a few plans I had, he says. Okay, so it makes me think that I made a good move, really. So, okay, now as he made himself down, I will strike for 4 Armor Bane with my drone defense system. He have no action, so I can attack again. Well, actually, his attack, so he's attacking for 1 with his Termagant. I will shoot it now. I will take that damage. That's okay. He have no action, so I can attack over here. I will probably attack with my warlord on the remaining token to prevent him from dealing more damage to my units. That will kill him automatically as his Armor Bane. And I will trigger the frontline Cancelier to bring him over here on that planet, so he will be able to blow the deadly attack for 4 as well, hopefully killing the striking Raveneer and let the Wild Rider to kill something else. So yes, attack on the elite unit. Yeah, he will trigger now the invasion side, which allow him to gain 5 resources back from his pool. and he actually using a fallback as well. So not only he get the cost back, but also he managed to pull that elite unit back from discard into play, which is a really nice combo. That's fine. I'm about to move the second Wild Rider on that planet. He have no action, so I can attack. 2 Wild Rider attacking here will definitely do the rest of the job, and I will be able to make all my units ready. So fine, there's no more actions from him, so I don't need to really do anything. I just trigger the planet ability and deal 1 damage onto planet number 3. So yeah, the 1 damage dealt on Synapse, that's fine. He now triggers the ability of the support, so he deals 1 damage to my Wild Rider squadron. We do not have any more action, so that will be it for turn number 4, and we will go all the way down to turn number 5. Now you can see the situation is really cool. I do have quite a lot of units on all the planets, so I am really well positioned to prepare myself for next fight. He obviously has 13 resources and 8 cards. That's absolutely massive economy that will allow him to put probably as many units as he have in his HQ already. So this only means that the final battle will be absolutely massive. And he's asking me now, did I pay for the Warlock Distractor last turn? And I do not remember. He don't remember as well. We paused the game here. I tried to dig it out from the text log. I couldn't really find it. There was so much going on all around. I probably forgot about it. He did not attack, so he didn't really change the game. He didn't really do much. He wasn't involved into anything. So I guess the proper thing to do for me now is to discard him on outer already, even if I do not intend to do so. So yes, I think I'm not sure did I pay it or not, but I will definitely discard it as I do not want to pay for him anyway. So yeah, the card, face down card coming back to my opponent. He made to deploy it on the planet if he wished to do so. It's the copy of the growing Genestealer Brood, so he made to consider it again. I'm just saying that I don't remember. It's so much going on, and I do not really feel well. My brain is like a toaster. He says the same here. So I'm thinking if he wants to play 1 resource for this copy of the Genestealer Brood or not. He's moving it all the way around, jumping from side to side. So yeah, probably something to think about. He do have a copy of the Genestealer Brood in his HQ already. If that would die, this Genestealer Broods are really, when deployed, they bringing another copies of the Genestealer Broods from the discard. So this deployment probably would make any sense, as you don't need to pay that 1 resource. You can really bring him after for nothing. Yeah, probably he should go to discard. So he's still thinking, and yeah, he did recognize that. So the Brood goes back in the discard. There's no deployment from this side. Okay, I actually looked on my hands. I didn't notice before, but I did manage to draw a copy of Drone Defense System finally. So my favorite card, and also the Mighty Right Knight. This is gonna be so important for me. Absolutely 2 awesome cards that I could get. I'm coming my way. I will definitely deploy that drone defense system. It makes so much difference for me. I will put it on the warlord on the White Rider squadron. That's a lot of damage for the exhausted units, 2 for each exhausted unit on the planet. So now I will release the full potential of my deck, and now I'm gonna show the true colors. My opponent says GG. Surprisingly, in this situation, it's really surprising statement. I will about to ask him to keep the game running, really, as it's so interesting, so cool so far. I wouldn't like to win the game in this way. So I ask, let's play it out for the public, and he agrees. So he decides to put a copy of the invasion site. That's again bringing back the resources after the elite dies. I need to remember about it this time, as I really missed it on the first elite kill. Okay, he decides to play, which makes me really happy. So I will take my turn in deployment. It's gonna be around 15 damage, he says, on all his units. So that will probably kill all the small guys, the drone defense system, and damage all the bigger guys straight away. Now, I need to secure the planet number 1, and despite of what he says, the planet number 1 is very dangerous for me, even if it doesn't look like. I need to deploy this area effect unit, and now he says 30 damage, that's better. I say yeah, of course. Now, area effect here will be so important. I need to secure the plan number 1. There's a risk that he could go here instead of going for plan number 2, and then I will be locked on planet number 2. In the next round he can just move around, outmaneuver me, and go for the last planet to secure the victory condition over there. So I would be absolutely rammed. I cannot let him even to try to take this planet here on plan number 1. It's absolutely essential for me to play. He says, wait, I played a little bit too fast. I forgot that this is the reaction of the Harid with the face down card, not the action. So it's his deployment still. But I'm still kind of thinking about my strategy here. So I have a copy of the Furious Right Blade, and I think I need to put that Iron Rifle on him to make a double 6 attack. And the area effect, those 2 units are really important. Plus, I can obviously bring in here the drone defense system on the Wild Rider and the second Wild Rider squadron. That's quite enough already to deal some significant damage in this battle. He would be very weakened by this, and still if he would decide to go on that way to land the planet number 1 and then go around, go for last planet, he will still get 1 damage from my planet ability on planet number 2 in the next round. So very risky play. He decides to put a focal warrior, gives a brutal ability all his brutal elite units. So this deployment indicates that it's definitely coming here, not on the planet number 1. This focal warrior itself is very important, but it could be a decoy. He could be playing the same way I do, just lying and just trying to confuse me. So should I play this Iron Rifle on Sniper Drone? Probably yes, but I was playing safe all this time, and it kind of brought me up to this point, and I think I should stay playing safe. Risking planet number 1 too much would be a crazy move. I will decide to deploy the Iron Rifle, but would it be Sniper Drone or would it be a Furious Right Blade? I think Furious Right Blade makes me sleep well. So yeah, I'm gonna add 3 attack markers to this guy who can ready himself for after he attack. So yeah, pretty cool. Now I spent all my resources. I cannot do anything else. I can only imagine in the next round I would definitely deploy that Mighty Raid Knight wherever my opponent decides to land other than planet number 1. So yeah, we will see. We discuss quickly if he still thinks that he's able to win. I'm suddenly feeling a little bit more comfortable, a little more confident with that area effect flyer with the drone defense system. It looks a little bit better. Another copy of Striking Raveneer on planet number 2, so elite unit and 4 tokens from the Lumi Brood Hive support coming into play. That's well, he pulls the tokens back considering this deployment, so let's wait with the end result. I'm okay with the deploy, but not sure about the tokens. Yeah, okay. No, he did put the tokens back, so I was going to say they would die, but what is done is done. Okay, let's keep it that way. Now I'm absolutely sure that my opponent is coming here. He wouldn't leave those tokens and is striking Raveneer for nothing here. If it's a decoy, it's really a great price to pay, so I wouldn't think of it. He reconsidered that move, so I will be definitely committing to planet number 2. I have no more action, so I'm giving the initiative back to my opponent. He exhausted all of his units, so we are about to decide about the commitment in a command. He is choosing already his warlord and his synapse. I am still thinking about this. Should I have the initiative, so by going on planet number 2 I'm actually striking first and then striking from the range. I really would like to kill the enemy warlord here. That's my aim. The first strike will be so important to deal that 4 damage or 3-4 damage on a warlord. It's absolutely essential to get imploded for me. So no, I go for plan number 2. And Synapse go for plan number 3, and it looks like the warlord and all the train behind him goes on planet number 2. So okay, that's what I expected. It's really fine. Finally I'm getting some serious command. Actually 3 cards, 3 resources against 1 his card and 1 resources. So now I'm gaining a slight advantage in the economy, but he is loaded with 9 resources, so that's a lot. I'm getting a copy of Foretell, which can deny the trigger of the power ability. Does serve me nothing, but most importantly I'm getting a second copy of Drone Defense System. That's absolutely cool. And he says crazy game, crazy. Is in it. It's indeed really. There'll be a lot of things happening in a second. Let's resolve first the battle on planet number 1. Plan ability will allow me to clear off the damage from the Wild Rider Squadron and the Etero Envoy, so I can capture it, getting another red icon into my collection in the victory display. So now this planet here, planet number 2, that's my victory condition. We will be fighting for everything, and the first action, as it's my initiative, I won't give him any chance here. I will trigger the Wild Rider Squadron immediately, denying any effects that he could pull off. So he needs to deal 2 damage to all his exhausted units. That will kill a lot of his guys. That will actually wipe out many of his units. Probably was a little bit premature. He have this Banner of the Cold on one of his units. That will allow him to exhaust my sniper drone before ranged. So maybe I was playing too secure. Maybe I should attack in the ranged first, make myself ready, and then trigger the drone defense system. Probably yes, but it's too late to do, or judge to do so. He obviously triggers the regeneration as the actions, so he heals his 2 biggest units. I'm moving the Wild Rider Squadron away just because of this drone defense system. I really want to keep it for the future. So to lose him would be a great loss. I don't want to do it. I'm about to do the first strike. Let me just ask for the actions. There's end of range, so I made my drone back ready. Now I can attack. I'm asking for the actions actually, if he do have any, and he will return the question because it's my initiative, of course. Yes, I don't have any actions, so it's all down to him to decide. And as soon as he will pass his action, I will definitely attack his warlord to try to bloody him. And I will explain you in a second what happened here, because this may actually confuse the game a little bit. We were playing here about the midnight. Both of us, we were pretty tired. This fight, it did go for 2 hours. Even if that video doesn't show the full length of that fight, it was pretty exhausting for both of us to think about all those movements. And I was just sitting here and waiting for him to pass the action to be able to strike on this warlord, because the way I was thinking here is when I actually will be able to strike and bloody the warlord, he will lose his ability. So that's what I did. I attacked for 4 armor bane to get him bloodied. And the next thing I actually said to Apoka, that was the thing I checked, that the Harid on his bloodied side doesn't have this this effect about the face down cards in play. And unfortunately I was able to confuse the Apoka itself, the designer of this warlord, with that question. Really, it's kind of my fault. I did bring a doubt in this line of thinking, so I did say here the face down cards that in overall, right? And it was a question mark, and then he didn't understand my question, so he actually answered back, overall, what do you mean? And I'm pretty sure I did said something about they will not pop out on auto unless from event. And he was really asking me when you kill a unit, but then I ask again, yeah, but not with the bloodied warlord on which is attached. Yeah, but not with the bloodied warlord. And I made him doubt, and so he kind of asked himself what I'm actually talking about. And then he looked on the warlord and he just said, good lord, you are right, he totally forgot. So this is obviously a wrong play. We misplayed the whole game from this point. My line of thinking, I was really asking, I wasn't so sure, but he kind of followed my line of thinking, and he could really save his warlord a couple times. In this option, it's obviously for me it's obviously very important, because from this point he haven't used any of his face down cards anymore, as we both considered that the warlord ability switched off, that the warlord ability doesn't say anything about that interrupt. You cannot use those cards anymore, which is actually a mistake. So we didn't really clarify that during the game. Only after the game and the next morning we start digging more into the rules, and we actually confirmed that this was a misplay from us, mainly initiated by myself, as the reaction of the warlord says, after an enemy unit enters play, put a card from your hand attached face down to that unit, then draw a card. Now, as an interrupt, when the attached unit leaves play, you may deploy the face down card at the same planet. So he passes that ability to the face down card. It's actually not bolded effect that interrupt. And on that moment we didn't really remember about the rule. But if you really look on the rulebook of the Warhammer Conquest on page number 5, it does say about the constant effects, that the many cards simply announce an effect with no bolded phase trigger, such as that interrupt on a Harid, and such abilities are called constant effects. A constant effect becomes active as soon as its card enters play and remains active as long as that card is in play. So in short, translation is that all those face down cards, they have been passed that ability until the end of the game. It wasn't really important that the Harid was bloodied at this point. Somehow I confused the Apoka, and he agreed with this line of thinking at this point. I don't know how it's possible, but it did change the game, I'm pretty sure. It really affected his strategy, as he had some of those strategic units buried down, face down. So I'm just checking everything's recording properly. Yes, so we can continue now. Attack with Termagant token onto my frontline Cancellier. I won't be shielding this. This drone defense system is far too much important for me, so I will attack back with the Ethereal Envoy on that Raw Grinder still, as those regenerations are exhausted after the drone defense system. I will be able to probably kill it, or almost kill it. Termagant token attacks on my frontline Cancellier again. I will be ignoring those tokens. I will be trying to deal as much damage as possible on all those elite units to keep them low. The Ethereal Envoy goes back in HQ after the attack. It's absolutely fine. It's his attack again. So I imagine he will be trying to, yes, he tried to and did kill the frontline Cancellier with his striking Reveneur, made himself ready, and now you can see he had this Gene Stealer signature unit under that card, which probably forced me to attack him first, so it could change the way I was forced to choose my targets here. But everything goes wrong. Well, we played it all the way along. After the game, we agreed that it was a common mistake from both of us. It wasn't really my fault, so we kept the game as it was played, either that I proposed a draw. So I strike with the Aun'shi on the Rogue Grinder for 2, keeping him on the 1 HP left, and he attacked again with the Ravener on my drone. I didn't have any more attacks, so I need to pass, letting those Termagant tokens to deal another 2 damage, which gave me 5 in total, leaving me only on 2 HP. That ended a combat turn. We went for another combat turn, and I'm thinking here, should I actually keep this drone in fight? So he intends to, no, he's pulling the tokens away. No, he's just switching the position to make it more clear. I am done, he's done, so we both staying. That's okay. I'm about to use this drone and deal that full damage to reduce the HP on enemy units on the striking Reveneur to as low as possible, to make him ready for another drone defense system strike in the next battle. So that's full damage, he asked me, and I'm sure, and I said yes, I want him alive. So I am just spreading my damage around. I left 6 on the Goliath for a Grinder, 4 on the Rivener, just for this purpose to get them killed by area effect or by this spreaded effect from the drone defense system. So I'm done. I have no actions with whatever he will decide to strike. He will be able to kill my drone. I presume that would be a rogue grinder. Or actually no, any deployment from in the future, he can kill it. You can trigger whatever you like. Really, I moved it to discard already. So, I forgot to consider my retreat before yours. So he's thinking that he probably should pull away some of the units already. He's thinking that he won't be coming prepared for planet number 2 next round. So this is overcommitment already. Yep, I say okay, let's see. So, in the end of the turn, he decides to trigger his signature support to deal 1 damage to my White Rider squadron with the face down card. Obviously, that makes a lot of sense. And then he deals 1 damage, triggering the battle ability from the planet. So he deals 1 additional damage to all my units and infest the last planet. So, yes, he managed to weaken my units here. Really, the situation doesn't look good. From his point of view, he can really feel secured, but my plan is obviously to deploy that mighty right knight and attach another drone defense system. And as you see, I actually got as well the signature support. That signature support allows me to ready a target unit with ethereal unit on the same planet. So in all the words, I could put the mighty right knight on the planets. I could use the drone defense system twice, and I could really even make myself area effect flyer 4/4 ready to deal absolutely awesome amount of damage to the enemy units. There was some small disconnection that's already been resolved. So Apoka is back in the game. Good to see that. He decides to deploy the Gene Stealer Growing Brood, and that allows him to put 2 copies from this card. So for 1 cost, he actually gets all the 3 copies. So he used its effect in full. That's really cool play. I'm about to deploy that drone defense system onto White Rider Squadron. So that makes it really powerful right now. And then he refers back to the retreat that he forgot to do. But I said it doesn't matter, I am taking planet 1. It's really adding pressure, and yeah, I'm going for planet 1 anyway. And he says, help yourself. So I'm kind of selling the information here, asking him for his deploy. He used the regeneration to give the turn away and heal 2 damage from the Rogue Grinder. And obviously my plan is to deploy the copy of the mighty right knight. So yeah, he did actually say it's unless might right, so he recognized it's coming, and I did. This unit allows me to exhaust after deployment all non-spirit units on the planet. So literally everything here will be exhausted and make it a good foundation for the drone defense system damage. That's cool play. I kept the right knight right in the end. I actually have 2 copies in my deck, so that could potentially change a lot, and I'm really happy. He put the Goliath Rogue Grinder here. Possibly I should deploy the signature support first and wait with that mighty right knight in the next turn. Probably I misplayed it. I was probably too excited about the effects as well, so I should do it the other way around to let maybe this rock grinder to keep it exhausted as well. It's too late for that. I will pay the price, but this is insane anyway. The amount of damage I will be able to deal here is just absolutely mad, really. So now he do make a comment about this signature support that is really powerful as well. It indeed is, and he placed a copy of the banner of the code on the table. So whenever that banner is, whenever that unit with that banner is being destroyed, he's able to exhaust one of my units. So I need to be really selective. I need to be really careful with what I'm really killing here, and when I'm triggering this area effect, to make sure none of my strong units will accidentally get exhausted by my own attacks. Okay, I have 2 resources left. The only thing I can do, and the only card that has some attack and combat value, is the Warlock Destructor, and he adds another copy of Regeneration of the Goliath Rogue Grinder, so his units are absolutely powerful. It will be very difficult to overwhelm those elites. It will be still a very close battle, I think. It will be still exciting up to the end. The 6th planet, I'm still unsure somehow, despite of all the cards and all the effects I have. He decided about the commitment immediately. I'm pretty sure he is probably going with the Synapse on plan number 1, and Warlord probably somewhere far away from that main battle. So let's see which way this will be played. No, he did go with the Synapse and the Warlord both on the planet number 2, probably to get this command. I am actually going on planet number 1. That's pretty obvious that I was doing this. I'm gonna get the 2 cards and 2 resources from the planet number 1, and he's gonna get 1 card and 1 resource, which serves me well, but he still have 9 resources left, so he's still pretty powerful. I draw some useless cards, so I won't be really able to use any of those effects that I have in my hand. So what you see is what you got on the table, on the board. That's all my force deployed already. So it's down to my opponent if you have any tricks here. I need to really consider the combination of my attacks, how I will perform my attacks, how I will deal. This is very crucial. There's so many units, so many effects. It's very easy to make a mistake. Even if that option, I would like to see the Goliath Rogue Grinder exhausting itself for me to be able to deal that drone defense system damage. He have actually 4 tokens in play, 4 tokens that could outgun me from the very beginning. So I would decide to attack with the Warlock Destructor. I cannot ready my Nightshade Interceptor and deal that 2 damage. This will kill that banner, and it will exhaust one of my units. So I decide to attack for free with the Warlock. He obviously heals too with the regeneration. We both ready, and then he takes the action back. He takes the action back, and he decides to do not use this effect. So he kept free damage. Maybe he wants to get the resources back from his Goliath Rogue Grinder. Maybe he needs more cash, but I don't believe he already have 9. That's more than enough for anything else that I could imagine. So okay, take the damage back. And he will attack. He will attack here, probably with the Rogue Rider. I have 1 shield for my effect, so nothing that I see would die. Anything with 3 HP I can really shield off. He says really tempting, but he attacks the Warlock Distractor, so I'll try to shield it for 1, giving him 2 damage. Yep. Now please add 3. Oh yeah, I forgot. He do have the Focal Warrior, so he's actually brutal. It's not a 3 attack, it's a 6 attack. Shield doesn't have any sense here, and he probably was tempted about attacking this mighty Right Knight. So he thought that I am tempting him and I'm bluffing. He didn't decide to kill my unit, which probably was a very crucial move. He played safe to generate 3 tokens. That saved me. The fact that he didn't consider that I do not remember about the Focal Warrior saved my Right Knight. So I was pretty lucky here. Warlock Distractor goes away and he's dead. I am still forgetting. Yeah, this is the reaction. So my action, your action first. Regeneration now takes the 2 damage away from the Rogue Grinder, so it was really smart to keep that damage in the first place on him. Now I need to attack with the mighty Right Knight, I think. Keep only my Warlord, so in the next attack in the area effect, that banner leaving play won't exhaust any of my units. So yes, I'm adding 5 attack on the Grow Grinder, leaving him at 6. So he's still alive, but that's totally fine. He's exhausted. I will be able to bring some distractions here very soon. So yeah, that's totally cool. First of all, he's gonna attack with one of his tokens. He has 6 of them ready, so I need to kill them off as soon as possible. They would be able to deal a lot of damage to me, so area effect unit now it needs to come into play, and I hope he won't send me away with any routing or exhausting effect, really. So that will be definitely heartbreaking news. So he's thinking on some actions, or just the attack, I'm not really sure. He attacks with the drone on my flying unit, so he intends to kill my flying unit as soon as possible. Now I recognize that I need to immediately use my signature support, which allows me to ready a unit with the Hetero unit on the same planet. So flying area effect 2 would be able to kill not only the tokens in the first line, but also a lot of those exhausted ones. So I will deal 2 damage to everything else around. I think that's the only thing I can do, really. Bringing here the Wild Rider Squadron and using the drone defense system won't really touch those ready tokens. So yes, I'm triggering the signature support. I'm making the Nightshade Interceptor ready. And the Aun'shi Sanctum is exhausted. I do not have any actions, waiting for my opponent to say if he does have actions or not. He don't, so I am dealing here in area effect 2. That's a lot of damage. It actually kills all of the units from the second row, and it does kill a lot, actually most of the units in the play. So he's losing here 6, 7, 8, 9 tokens. The Goliath Rogue Grinder, the Focal Warrior he'll only get 2 damage, but both copies of the Ravener Striker and this Veil Tendrak with the banner on his own will go away as well, and then the remaining 3 units will get 2 damage. So the Goliath Rogue Grinder dangerously low right now. It will probably die after the next drone defense attack, and this flying unit gets 2 attack as well. The area effect is not restricted to flying. It's actually an absolutely awesome information. Maybe I would be able to kill. Drone defense system comes in play. Well, the regeneration is not yet been triggered, so he will be able to heal himself. He does not have any action, so now I'm using the drone defense system to deal 2 damage on all his exhausted unit. Focal warrior dies. I believe the rock grinder Goliath will die as well, and the flying bastard gets another 2 attack. He uses actually a copy of fallback on the rock grinder, so still hoping for next turn to survive. Okay, that's totally fine. He triggers as well the side invasion, which gives him another 5 resource. That's total of 13. Absolutely awesome. I am bringing the Wild Rider here to deal another 2 damage from the drone defense system. He's using regeneration to heal 2, and then he immediately added 2 right after. So that leaves the flying unit with 4 damage. Absolutely awesome play. Now I'm able to attack with the Aun'shi for 1 armor bane. I am leaving him on 5, and that's it from my side. All the attacks have been dealt. He actually plays the action accelerated gestation, which allows him to flip a card and a face down, and that's another copy of the bloody shedding hive crone. So I need to deal with another monster flying. Wow, that was so powerful. He actually managed to deal 1 damage, 1 unpreventable damage to my unit as well. So I need to deal it to that dude. And still I am exhausted, so it will be his attack. Wow, this is awesome. This is really cool play from Apoka here. You see how unexpected are the events in this battle. He managed to attack with this monster on my flying. Flying versus flying is absolutely destroyed, absolutely in shreds. So I'm losing the Nightshade Interceptor, and now this suddenly doesn't look so good. Still hoping I'm able to overcome those 2 dudes, but they look really scary. I made to attack with my Mighty Right Knight, or I made to attack actually with my Furious Right Blade for 6, slashed in half. It will be 3. That's enough to kill that wounded guy. As I make myself ready after the attack, that's the best option. So I think the Furious Right Blade here is the best option to attack. I will attack for 3. Any shields will... Yes, he actually had this from... The banner went back to his hand, so he actually moves it now to discard. Wow. I forgot about that. So he attacks that Furious Right Blade with his flying unit, absolutely killing it. So now I need to attack with my Mighty Right Knight, and this will be absolutely important. So let's play along. Really, I'm attacking for 3 here, trying to kill the bastard again before he strikes. He do have a shield from backlash, so he stays alive. On he just added 1 damage, so he needs to probably add 1 more. Just highlighting it before it's attacked that he needs to add 2. You added 1. Yeah, he did. Okay, alright, so this is all settled. He attacks my White Rider squadron. Yes, so this will absolutely kill me. Nice. Okay, and now I am thinking the only thing I can do is to trigger the second Wild Rider squadron with drone defense system, which does not limit itself to half the attack value by flying. 2 damage on the remaining flyer. I'm attacking for 1 with the envoy. Easy fight with my warlord. Yeah, so okay. You actually have right. This face down cards could change a lot over here. But let's resolve the battle. After the attack, I need to move my Ethereal unit back in HQ. And I do not have any more action, so I'm attacking with the Ethereal envoy again on the flyer, dealing him another 1 damage. He makes himself ready. probably too fast. I just would like to point that he didn't add the damage. No, he did. No, he did add the damage, so I'm wrong here. My Ethereal Envoy will need to go. Eldar Survivalist, obviously, he does not attack for nothing. I think I forgot to move the Envoy here back in HQ. Yeah, my opponent pointed that right now, so yes, I'm moving my Envoy back. And now, 3 HP left on the flyer. I probably will be able to kill it. Let's see. Attack for free. 2 cards left. Killed. So enemy unit dies and I am winning the game. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely bloody fight here with the Tyranids. You see how easily he almost pulled this up. If I would made a single mistake in that last battle with messing up my combination of the attacks and doing it the wrong way, I could get exhausted or I could just lose the fight with those absolutely monster flyers. It was so easy to pull, but I also fully aware that with the lost Harid ability played really wrongly by both of us, he actually could pull this battle away in his favor. It will be all down to the next planet where we will be trying to resolve the battle and are made to actually lose the game over there. So really it could be very different that it is, but unfortunately the rules of the tournament and what we both agreed as well, I proposed the draw in the end, but he refused. He said I fully deserve to win this game, which I'm happy about. Not too proud about it, but yeah, really okay with taking that point in the tournament. But I do not consider myself as someone who've been able to defeat, to kill the Harid played by Apoka. So this warlord in his hands is still considered as being unbeaten, and I will leave with that result. Fortunately, we still have 2 rounds in the tournament, so I believe the Apoka will have a chance to win under 2 games, and I do not expect anything else from him. So we will probably see each other again in a semi or in a final, and there as he announced, he will not leave anything on my back. He will basically rip me apart, and I'm looking forward for this game again, because this one was absolutely awesome. It was really cool, and I hope you enjoyed it, guys. I hope it gave you some emotions here, and I'm really looking forward for this revenge that he will bring upon me. So far, I would like to thank you for all the support and all the nice comments you left with me. Obviously, I am inviting you to subscribe to my channel, and I will be uploading more videos very soon, definitely all the way along in this tournament, and hopefully long after. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.